Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and I'm live right now in Maui, Hawaii. I'm actually here on a little bit of a 2-week getaway, and I want for you to really understand not only the freedom lifestyle, guys, but how to be able to literally recruit new reps while you're sleeping, okay? And what's happened for me just during today, as an example. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm on vacation, I'm sitting by the pool, I'm going through some of the training myself, okay? I'm going through the team building formula, which if you do not have the team building formula, I would highly recommend it. I'm on, I think, right now on module 7, but because of that mindset shift, okay, this is what I want for you guys to really understand about the power of this right here. The moment that I stepped into training, okay, so for the last day and a half, I'm going through the team building formula. Guess what magically happened today, guys? 5 new people joined my business, and almost all of those people were incoming contacts. So out of the blue, literally out of hyperspace, somebody says, hey, Darren, I want to find out more about how I become a top recruiter. Can you help me? Hey, Darren, I saw one of your posts. Hey, Darren, I saw your video. Hey, Darren, I watched your training. Can you help me? Right? That's the power of leverage. That's the power of cloning yourself, right? So think about this from the standpoint of, if you had some revolutionary DNA formula that you could call into the lab and say, hey guys, can you make 40 more of me? Can you have those ready by Thursday? Guys, that's the power of the internet. That's the power of video. That's the power of a blog. That's the power of a Google Hangout. And that's the power of Facebook. It's going to clone you. So a lot of people ask me, they say, Darren, how do you generate leads? How do you come up with all these new contacts? Guys, make it a goal to work on this every day. Okay, get control over your thoughts. Okay, because if your day is going great, it's a lot easier to do that. But if you're in one of these, let me tell you, right, that can lead to, oh, probably won't work, right? Oh, it's working for everybody else, but it's not working for me, right? And that creates one of these spirals going downhill, right? And that's hard to start to be able to turn around once you're in one of those spirals. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to just reach out to a couple of people. Now, I've got Elizabeth here on the line, but we're looking at a wall there, Elizabeth. Is there anywhere that we can actually see you so that we can have a little bit of a conversation? Is that possible? Elizabeth, are you there? We're looking at some sort of desk. Elizabeth, are you there? Okay, we're going to move over to Kevin. Okay, Kevin, can you unmute yourself there? Okay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, guys, what I want for you to do today, and this is kind of a cool thing because, I have a number of people here with us today that are brand new. How about that? They're just getting started. And what I want for you guys to be able to do today is I want for you to tap into their mindset, okay? Because they just started. That means they just threw their hat over the wall. They just took action, okay? They just pulled out their credit card and they engaged, right? Now, typically when somebody does that, they're tapped into their vision and they're tapped into their dream, right? And they believe that it's possible based upon something, right? And I want to, this is complete transparency here, guys, okay? Complete vulnerability. Okay, there's strength and vulnerability. Now, I want for Kevin, who just enrolled, Kevin, I want for you just to tell us straight from your heart, why did you join today, and what did I say, or what did I do that gave you the confidence to pull out your credit card, take the trial, and the 6-figure shortcuts upgrade, and now be putting your 100% focused attention on going black card. What did I say to you that gave you that confidence to do that?
Well, first off, it was I've been working on personal development for a while now, and taking action was something that I've had trouble with in the past. So that's something I'm trying to conquer at the moment. So when I came to you in the first place, I was partly already ready to just do whatever it took to move to the next level and start changing the life for my family and myself, and just uh, something my dad always taught me. Surround yourself with people who are successful. And as far as people I've seen on the internet doing internet marketing, you're the most successful person I've encountered online. So that holds a lot of weight in my mind. So when I came and I started engaging you on the messenger, I came ready to go, and like I said, all cost, whatever it took, and that had a lot to do with why I went ahead and just joined up. I practically emptied a brokerage account for stock trading so I could speed up the process, and so I had some capital ready. I didn't have all the capital to go all in or all the way up, but I had enough to at least get in the door and start working on getting the rest of the way up.
Okay. So what I want for you to share with people here on the panel is that somewhere out there you came across something to do with me and something to do with marketing or mindset or something, okay? Someplace, okay? So I want for you to share, what was that for you? What pulled you to come to me to say, you know what? Whatever this guy tells me to do, I'm going to take action and I'm going to do it. Okay, so tell me a little bit about maybe, have you been to watch some videos? Have you watched some training? Have you ever been on any type of hangout or live broadcast? What got you to that point where you felt enough confidence to say, you know what? I'm at that breaking point in my life, and I'm ready to do whatever it takes, right? What was that gap between, being out there someplace and then coming in contact with me or a video? What did you see that got you to this place today?
Actually, I've never been to a live hangout. I've seen some recorded hangouts, and one thing that I seen was the fact of the results you were getting. Number one, so it ensured me that what you were doing was working with the mind mastery and the techniques you use as far as engaging people and getting to know them, their situations, and finding out what their problems are, making connections with them, and those sorts of things is what made me believe in what you were saying and trusting the advice you were giving me, and gave me more confidence to take action.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's excellent. Thanks a lot for sharing. Okay, what I want to do now, guys, is I want to go over to Jason, okay, because Jason has a really, really powerful story, guys, okay? I want you to listen to what he's saying, because here's a guy, guys, okay? I'm talking about a do-whatever-it-takes attitude that Jason has, okay? No matter what, you will always see this guy peak performing. You will always see his blog posts. You will see him more and more. Literally, I'm telling you this straight up because I already can see the future, and I'm telling you this. This guy is a superstar, okay? He's over in Trinidad. He's in a place where he's on a little island, but there's no excuses with this guy, okay? I mean, I'm telling you, he does whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Jason, tell me the evolution. I want to find out, how did you come in contact with me? And what was that gap between where you were to now you're on the team here, right? And I got to tell you, man, I'm really proud of you, pal, because you have come in this little tiny window of maybe 2.5 months. Your personal development and your leadership qualities have literally gone like this. Okay, I'm not kidding you here. So tell me more about that journey for you. Well, from where you were to where you are right now, tell me about that process, because I really want for people to see some continuity here amongst this whole group, because you'll see some things that are like the chain between them, and you'll see continuity all the way down the line, right? And if you guys can start to incorporate this, your whole life will change. You will literally never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life once you can see this continuity. Okay? Okay, so Jason, can you unmute yourself there?
Hey Darren, hear me clear?
Yep, you're on.
Great. Guys, Jason Bramble all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a very nice sunny tropical island. Invite you all to come and visit one day. You won't be actually sad, you'll be actually happy. It's a really happy-go-lucky place, basically. For me, starting in network marketing, I actually was one of the typical type of guys who actually go there, join a company, and you actually start just running down family and friends. You start to pitch all on the internet. You try different strategies, different things like that. And I was in a previous company. Darren Little was one of the top leaders in that company. And I always notice his posts, and I always wonder what his success is, like what he's doing to get all these people to follow him. And I reached out to him basically, and he was a very kind guy, and he actually went straight and tried to show me some of his hangouts, and I started to actually dive into it, look at it. I got to understand what I was doing totally wrong, and the power of the mindset and quantum physics, everything. And it was like a new world for me. My mind was just like open. And he was not even my sponsor. He was actually in a total different leg, as you may call it in network marketing, but he actually reached out to me. At a certain point in my life, I was actually going through a transition phase, and maybe not really a breaking point too much, but I was in a transition. And I was sitting on the fence looking for a company to actually join. And guys, it was not the comp plan, it was not anything about which company is the best company to join. All I remember is that Darren actually provided a lot of value and help for me. And I just reached out to him. And I asked him, hey Darren, what are you doing now? And he said, take a look at this. And the rest was history, guys. I just joined, and after he sent me all his mastery training, and from there, I was just committed to everything. And I just followed everything he said, all the training. I followed all the blogging, everything like that, and I made up my mind to actually just be focused and every day to be committed to do a blog, to do some posts. I learned from everyone. I learned from Chad also. He has some techniques. I just pick it up. And for me, my mindset, that shift was where I actually realized I am the one going to change my reality, no one else. Not the company, anything like that. I'm the one who's going to actually make it happen for myself. Darren is a great help to me, but at the end of the day, I'm the person. Even Darren is helping me, I'm the one who's going to do it for me, not Darren. So as soon as my mindset reached to that, it's just going one way all the time, and I'm more in a leadership role now. I'm trying to help my team to develop that mindset also. So guys, for the one who are new, you just take the business as yours and reach to the stars.
Fantastic. And I tell you, Jason, I'm so proud of you for how far you've come here in such a short period of time. You can not only see it in your Facebook posts, but you can see it in your blogging, right? In the images that you use. I mean, you really have become a great marketer. It's such a short period of time, guys. Now, keep in mind, this is somebody that was taught, make a list of your friends and family, and go out and pitch. Okay, that's where he started. Okay, the evolution that he's gone to become an actual value-based content creating marketer is light years ahead in just 90 days, guys. 90 days. Now, where do you think he's going to be 3 years from now? That's his very first 3 months. Can you imagine 3 years from now? In his area where he is, people will literally like look up to him like he's the guru, right? I'll tell you what, because I can see that happening, right? We're only a 90-day period of time into that process. So I want you to understand, when you're looking at the bigger scope of life, that's a little blip in the screen here. Okay, let's go over to Rita. Rita, you there?
I am.
Okay. Do you have a video? Do you have a video camera?
No.
Okay. So Rita, you know, you're also in a really interesting position, because we spent a little bit of time on the phone. You know, we chatted on, you know, sort of phone to phone, so to speak. Tell me, what was it in our conversation? What did I say to you that gave you the confidence just to throw your hat over the wall and somehow, some way find a way to get involved, to get the six-figure shortcuts, and now have your mind, you were one of the few people that actually put a date when you're going black card. So what did I say to you that gave you that confidence level to be able to do that, to be now on this path to change your life forever?
You spoke my language. You speak a way that I understand, a way that I have rare conversations with others on. And because of the rarity of that in my life, I know when I see it, I connect with it.
Fantastic.
Whether I understand it or not, when I see it, I connect with it. It's just that simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So let me ask you this, because I want for you guys to really realize, when it comes to manifestation or creating the reality that you want, okay? This is the one area that most people won't do, guys, just so you know, okay? And that's go public. Because when you're public, like if you take a statement or a proclamation and you make it public for the world to know that this is what you're going to do, or I'm going to be at 10,000 a month in 30 days from now or 60 days from now, when you go public with that, okay, there's some other stuff that starts to happen, guys, just so you know. Because that bridge between, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, because what if I can't pull it off, to I'm going to trust this process. All I got to do is get control of this, right? My thoughts, speak it into the reality, my words, and be emotionally connected to that future reality of the feeling in my body, and trust the process, okay? Now, Rita, you were one of the very few people that actually put your feet to the fire and put a date when you're going black card, right?
Yes.
What gave you the confidence to do that? Because there was only a couple people that did. Tell me about that.
Okay. I know that putting a deadline on a goal has a value to it. I may not understand that fully, consciously right now, but I do understand that putting a date on a goal has a genius, a power, and a magic associated with it. And I was willing to touch that. I was willing to do what it took to take the step that I told you I was going to take in going that direction. I did it, and it wasn't. It revealed itself to me that it's empowering.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's great. Okay, guys, what I want to do now is I want to go over to Scott. Scott, are you there? Scott? Scott, you're muted, just so you know. Scott, can you unmute? Are you there? Okay. Okay. Elizabeth, can you unmute? I saw your head poke up there, so we know you're there. Elizabeth, where are you?
I'm having problems. Can you hear me?
Okay, there you are. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Now, guys, this is a great story, okay? Because I want for you to really understand what evolved, okay? Somehow, some way, and Elizabeth will tell us more about this, but somehow, some way, through the power of the internet, whether it was YouTube or something, Elizabeth got to one of my links. She opted in. She got onto my list. Okay. Now on Millionaire Mentoring last night, I went live. Okay, in my AWeber. This is just a fluke that this happened, by the way, guys. Okay, I want you to know that's how marketing works. It's called testing and tweaking. Okay, this is something that I just figured out like yesterday. Okay, but this is the result of what's happened already. So what happened was that I looked at my AWeber account to see who was opening my emails. Okay, now Elizabeth just happened to be one of the people that had opened it like 10 or 12 times. So I took her email, I put that email into Facebook, I did a search, up came her profile. Okay, I added her and I said, hey Elizabeth, how's it going? How's your day so far? Darren, right? She, said, pretty good, Darren, how about yourself, right? We were instantly engaged in a conversation, right? And then what happened from there is I went off the internet onto the telephone. Okay, so what I want for you guys to understand is that the internet is a great tool. Okay, it's a phenomenal tool. It's a phenomenal tool for leverage. I don't even have to leave my kitchen table. I'm here in Maui as an example. I'm in a bedroom and I'm on an international broadcast in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different cities. Okay. Now I want for you guys to understand, in the event that you came from a business model that was home parties or boardroom presentations or gatherings of people. Okay, do you realize right now from Maui, right here, if each one of you, if each one of you even had 3 or 4 people over, okay, and I could be right now, I could be in a living room on a big screen, I could be, in a family room, I could be in a boardroom on a big projector, right, talking to all these people all at the same time. Boardroom table filled with people. I could have 200 people at a networking event and me on the big giant screen right now. Okay, so I want for you to understand the power of leverage, right? Leverage to be able to broadcast a message out to a lot of people at the same time. Okay, so here's what happened. So we get onto the phone and we get an opportunity to connect, because business is about relationships. It's about finding things in common, right? It's about understanding the other person, where they're currently at, right, on their life path, and what's their vision. What do they really want? Where do they want to go with their life, right? How much money do they want to be able to make? And where are they currently at with their skill level, right? Now, if you have a conversation with somebody versus chat, right, you can connect with them a lot better and you can find out a lot more about their skill based upon their dialogue, based upon the words they use and how fast they respond and how, what sort of vibrational resonance that they're in, okay? Now, as Elizabeth has done a lot of personal development, okay? She's been in senior level management, right? She's already been in a situation of leadership, okay? So Elizabeth, what I want for you to do to share here with the people, because you're another person that coincidentally just came on board today, right? I want for you to share what was the point that put you over the edge. Okay, what did I say? What did I do? What did you see? What made you say, you know what? I'm joining this guy. What was that? Share with everybody here.
So I came across the iPad system a couple of times in the past, so I was familiar with the concept, the name,
the branding, everything behind it. When you sent me the link, and I can't remember what it's called, but you're kind of positioned behind it, and it's that whole magician effect. So that's the
Unstoppable
video that
Vision.
I watched. Yeah, so that's
Unstoppable
the
Vision.
video. It ran about an hour and a half or something. That touched a lot of key points. Because you
Okay.
mentioned, you referred to like Tony Robbins, and I read that book back in the 80s. Just your entire mindset, the way, the way you speak, the way you come across, your belief system. I mean, all of that totally resonates with me. So there's not even a buy-in for me at this point. This is just, we're twins. We're twins in that concept, in that mindset. So, and as for our discussion earlier, I have never done anything related to MLM. So I recently am free, and I'm looking for new opportunities. So I got on Facebook for the very first time in the last few months, and I'm looking at all these MLM opportunities, and I'm totally blown away by what I'm seeing there. Like, this is a completely different world, and from where I'm coming from. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't relate to.
Yes.
So anyways, these are just some of the points that we talked about.
Just so you know, on that topic, because all of those people have never been properly trained, and it's the blind leading the blind. They don't know what they're doing, and they're all wasting their time because none of it's working, and they're all broke. It doesn't even
And
work.
this is why, and this is why I didn't join anything. I mean, I've had some conversations with, the odd people that are involved in whatever, but they all come across with, major, in my mind, anyways, a lot of lacking skill sets. And there's no way that I'm going to even give them a minute of my time, because I know that it's, I'm not going to be satisfied. This is not something that I'm looking for. So for me, it has to be about having, being the right fit.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, there's certain things that people should know from the outset without having to be explained to, the basics of how things should work, or at least your own positioning in the big scheme of things. You've got to come on board with the right mindset. You've got to be a believer in yourself, number one. I mean, if you can't convince yourself, there's no way you're going to be convincing anybody else. Right?
Fantastic.
And it's not even about just reading. It's not even just about reading and composing. You can tell when it's real and when it's just rehearsed. You feel it off of somebody. You listen to them. Even if it comes, even when you're reading a blog, it comes across loud and clear.
Exactly. Okay. So, guys, what I want for you to understand here about this particular situation, okay, because there's multiple people here, guys, that have all come up. They just came on board. Okay, these are brand new people. Brand new, okay? So I want for you to get this one thing. Do you realize that through something that was done accidentally, I literally opened up a vault, guys, a vault of opportunity. And I was like the guinea pig guy, right? Because I thought, I wonder if you could actually do this. Like, just take that email, put it into the search bar, see if it comes up. If they do, well, hey, there's a person that's opened up my email 10 times or 15 times. They must be pretty interested if they've opened up that many times, right? Do you realize what that can do for your recruiting? Holy cow, right? That alone, that one little tiny strategy, that one little fine tuning can literally take your recruiting like this, guys. Straight up, okay? So, but what I want for you to understand about that particular situation is, instead of me taking a lot of time to type, right, the first thing that I say to people is, do you have Skype? Because I can find out right away if they're a marketer, right? Because marketers, if they're marketing online, a lot of people will be messaging them from the UK or Australia or whatnot. They have Skype accounts, right? So I try to get them off the internet onto Skype. So it's like we're having a conversation, having coffee. You see that? Because it's about relationships, right? So I want to get them off the internet, like here. This is, hey, let's have a bite to eat together, right? That's called breaking bread, right? And a lot of leaders will talk about that around the world. They'll say, let's get together so we can finally break bread together, right? It's a topic that's talked about in the industry. And that's why the events are so critical, guys. I can't explain to you how much it's important for you to get yourself to Nashville, okay? Because it'll change your life, okay? Now, today, I was talking about how at one of the events that I was at. Now imagine this, guys, because I'm 50 years old, okay? And all of a sudden they bring up this little kid live on stage. He's at the time he was only 12. Okay, now he's 13. Okay, a 13-year-old kid that has gone through the Empower Network training, and he's making $3,000 per month. Now, could you realize what that was like for me at 50 years old, seeing this kid that was younger than my son? My son's now 15. That's younger than my son, that's making $3,000 a month, and he's still in high school. Can you imagine the power of that if you had been at that particular event when that particular thing happened? That's blueprinted in my mind forever, guys. Okay? And you can't change that, right? Because I was there. I was there. I witnessed that kid with the microphone, right, at 12 years old, making a $3,000 monthly residual income. Are you for real? That's the power of what we have our hands on, guys. Okay, so what I want for you guys to realize here is that coming from the world where I started of doing three-way phone calls and conference calls and home meetings and hotel meetings and driving across town for hours to get to somebody's home to have nobody show up after they told me that there were, Darren, you better buckle up because I'm going to have 30 people at my place. I don't know where I'm going to sit them all. Let me tell you, I'm hoping I've got enough chairs, right? And then I get there 2 hours across town to have nobody there, guys, nobody, right? I don't even have to drive across town anymore, right? All I got to do is book them for one of these. I can be on their big screen TV, and if they want to do home presentations, hallelujah, go for it. Invite a bunch of people over your home, and I'm happy to present to everybody, right? Happy to do it. I'm happy to be your third-party validator, right? That's the power of the internet now. So the whole industry in general has come light years ahead of where it was before, guys. And if you do this, see what I've got going on here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 cities that are open right now. Okay, and there's people watching right now on YouTube, and they're in 25kpermonth.com. And later, here's the power. This is going to become a marketing tool. And I'm going to say to those people, click the link below if you want to take your life to the next level forever, right? Now, here's the power. What I've done as a leader for you guys is I've made it a lot easier, okay? So this is the things that you want to be thinking about. Because I don't want to be the guy. I want you to be the guy. I want you to be the gal. That's my goal, right? So as a leader, what I want to be able to do is teach you the principles where you can start to be that person, right? You can start to be that person that's having a $5,000 or a $10,000 day, right? Or more, right? We've got people that have had a $40,000 day, like Justin Varangia has had a $40,000 day within a program, right? So what I want for you to do, though, is to believe that's really possible. That really is possible. So, what I want to do here now, guys, is I want to go over to Chad Turner because, Chad has an amazing story here, guys. I will tell you, out of all the people that I've worked with, okay, all the people that I've worked with so far, do you realize that instantly in his first month, without me even telling him to do this, okay, Chad, on his own merit, went to my YouTube channel, and he went down and started watching my Millionaire mentoring. And he got some of the language that I use to be a top recruiter. Okay, now his particular niche that he picked, right, was Twitter. Right now I haven't mastered Twitter. It's similar in a lot of ways to Facebook chat, and it bridges over. So if you're good at Facebook chat, you can be good on Twitter chat, right? It's a very, very similar concept. But he's now mastered something that's made him very unique, and he can package that and build this entire business around his, what I call special sauce, right? Special sauce. So you as a marketer need to realize this. There's a whole smorgasbord of strategies, a whole smorgasbord. You know, there's blogging, there's video, there's Google Hangouts, there's press releases, there's Craigslist, there's magazine ads, there's hotel meetings, there's home presentations. There's all these different types of strategies, okay? Now, if you went to a restaurant, imagine you walk into a restaurant and the waiter comes over and he says, have you had a chance to look at the menu? And you go, actually, I sort of looked at it, but I don't know, I'm not really too sure what I want. You know, imagine this. Imagine the waiter says, well, I'll tell you what, why don't I just bring you everything? Why don't I just bring you everything? Okay, so he's coming out with plate after plate after plate and just stacking all this food in front of you, right? Here's probably what would happen. Your stomach would start to turn a little bit because you'd have onion rings over here, and you know, you'd have like fried stuff over here and hot and sour soup and all this. You'd be like, what? Right? So your stomach would be going, oh, I don't feel good. Right? I'm not really that hungry anymore. Right? So imagine that. So what you got to realize is that what Chad did was that he invested some time into some education, right? He got some strategies, and then he took them over to Twitter, and he mastered them. And out of everybody right now, guys, just so you know, Chad is the closest right now to going to the next level. Okay, I'll tell you that for fact. Okay, now why is that? Why? One is because of this, right, and what he's done in personal development, but he focused on one thing, not 10, one strategy, and he became very good at it. He's now ready to start branding it, to make that his little special thing, right? Now, if you do this, if you just follow the strategy that I'm talking about, right, and you can start off within the team, and you can use some of my stuff, right, which is what, you know, Chad's done and Jason's done and all these people have done. They're having the most amount of success, but you want to be thinking in the back of your mind, this right here is one of your goals. This right here, what we're doing right here, okay? You want to be that leader that's leading your troop, okay? It doesn't matter. You can have half a dozen people. You know, let's say, like with our system that we've got with our trials, Chad, let me ask you this. What's the top amount of people that you've recruited in a single day?
4 just recently, just 2 days ago.
Okay. So here's what I will tell you guys. If you get this, you're not only your recruiting, but your upgrades will go like this. Okay, now, let me explain a little bit about this. Once Chad becomes, you know, the guy in his whole reality, and he takes his team underneath his belt, okay, and he goes live with his team and does live recruiting. You know, there's a couple things that you got to understand that has to happen in the process. Number one is you have to completely surrender and relinquish and be okay with being vulnerable. You realize that that's the gateway to freedom. That's the gateway to wealth creation, is doing that, surrendering, relinquishing, loving yourself enough to feel worthy, right? That's a gateway, guys, okay? So if he's prepared to do that right now, to take his 4 guys, 4 gals, whatever, bring them onto a hangout, right, and do this, right, and go live, he's not only going to be, they're going to see him in action, actually doing it, and he can explain the psychology behind it, but something very unique is going to happen. They're going to start to look up to him as the guy, right? He's the expert. He's the guy with the branded special sauce, right? Now, once that video is done, right? And it has a work with me now button. His people can now have their piggyback, right? They can start using his Twitter training, right, to help them piggyback up, right? And eventually those people, they may pick something else, right? Maybe they pick the Facebook chat, maybe they pick press releases, maybe they pick something else, but they have a starting point with somebody that's mastered a strategy, right? Does that make sense? So Chad, let me ask you this, because you're out of the group, you know, you've had two $3,000 days already in your first 2.5 months. What's your vision? Talk to me, Chad, about the vision of possibilities. I know that you're looking at that the Jeep right now, that white Jeep there. You've already probably made a couple trips down there. Talk to me a little bit about your vision as to what you see as possible. Now that you've gotten the information, you're on the track of personal development, you've mastered recruiting, you're full black card member, two $3,000 days under your belt in your first 2.5 months. Talk to everybody here about that.
So for my vision, I see $10,000 months right around the corner, and I've never done that before. But I think it was maybe, I can't remember, maybe the summer, June or July of 2014, I wrote down on my fridge that I was going to start, earning $10,000 a month, January 1st, and I was going to, get that Jeep on my birthday, February 7th, like 6 months before it. And I really didn't have anything that would, that really told me that, I didn't really have a clear pathway to get there. But I just, threw my hat over the wall, and I was like, you know what, I think maybe I was going through your Unstoppable Vision around that time. I have another video on my YouTube channel called Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires. And that YouTube video I uploaded on my channel. It's done by Brian Tracy. And that is, I've actually used that as providing value to people. Like, I don't have the whole branded site around it and everything, but it's one of the things that I would give people, and I would just say, here, check out this YouTube video. I know you'll probably really like it. And I also would share with people the Science of Getting Rich audiobook, so those were two very valuable videos that, I didn't even do them, but I archived them on my personal YouTube channels, and I used them as tools to let people know, because a lot of people have never seen that type of information before, and then, so I wrote down the goals, I didn't hit them necessarily, but in January, I don't know, that's right when I got into iPass, was like the middle of December. And I didn't hit $10,000 for that month, but I really did have a breakthrough of starting to sponsor new reps almost every day. And the crazy thing about me, developing this Twitter strategy is I actually learned it while I was sick, and Twitter was always my weakest of all the social medias. I started with YouTube because I know the power of video marketing. So I have a YouTube channel that got over 250,000 views just on inspirational content, self-awareness videos, stuff like that, not marketing stuff, but it's almost 3,000 subscribers. I got that one up. Now I'm doing my personal channel. And then I got really good at Instagram. I got like 3,500 followers on Instagram, and then that software tanked that I was using. So then I had to keep going, and Thanksgiving, I only had like 60 followers on Twitter. I literally never used it, and I just kept, just flowing and staying positive. And now Twitter is, my special sauce, and I just hit over 15,000 followers since Thanksgiving. Wow. And I'm getting a lot of sales too.
So Chad, let me ask, because guys, I want for you to really grasp this, okay? Because a lot of people, are they actually have this bubble of fear, okay, that's around making a public statement of what they're going to do. Do you realize that even though it didn't quite come out in the right timeline or whatever that Chad was thinking about, because he actually made a proclamation of this is what's going to happen, this is the way that my life is going to be, period. He drew a line in the sand, right? The way that it works with the universe is that it's now in progress and it's catching up, right? So it's already happened, but it's now catching up, right? Like this little snowball that's catching up right behind him. Now here's the interesting thing. The one thing that's become his special sauce was actually his weakness. I want you to think about the irony here, guys. The one thing that became his special sauce was his weakness.
It's crazy.
Now there is a little bit of a subliminal message here in this whole thing. If you guys get this, okay? If you really get this, because your fear becomes your power. All the stuff that happened to you in your past, that in essence is holding you back, is your gateway to success. Your gateway to your future success is actually in cleaning up your past and coming to terms with it, right? Forgiving yourself for it, not blaming anymore, not pointing these fingers at everybody else except for yourself, right? To take full 100% ownership for it. Now, here's what happened for me, guys. Okay, I'll tell you what happened for me. I started my business. Now, keep in mind, traffic, as an example, was something that's brand new for me. Okay, complete vulnerability here, guys. I've never done paid traffic, right? This is my first shot at it, my very first try. Okay. Previously I did a little, without any mentoring, I just went, oh, maybe paid traffic, right? And I ended up losing like $3,000. Right? Wasn't pretty. Let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. I literally flambéed that money, right? So what did I do? I went and got a mentor, right? I got a mentor, somebody who's already done it. They already know what to do. They already understand how it works. So I figured, why don't I leverage off of their skill, right, to make it my profit? Right, so I leveraged somebody that already knew what they were doing, right, and I used it to my benefit. So here's what happened. I said, okay, within 30 days, I'm going to make 10 grand. Okay, now, guys, I put this on Facebook. I put my self-taught proclamation statement on my Facebook wall in bold, like boom. Money's flowing to me easily and effortlessly. My phone is ringing off the hook with incoming phone calls. Everywhere I go, people want to join my business. Avalanches of abundance are flowing to me, right? I put this on my Facebook wall. Not only that, but I would get on coaching calls and I would explain to people the difference between what is an affirmation and what is a proclamation. An affirmation is positive, like I'm driving an Aston Martin, right? But a proclamation is emotional, right? It's a big difference. Now, if you get emotionally attached to your dream and emotionally attached to your proclamation, that's when you move mountains, guys. So I did that 3 times per day, right? I read my proclamation through the phone, standing up in full emotion, so that my students, my brand new people, right, I would do a coaching call and I would explain this. Guys, there's 2 worlds that exist simultaneously. Over here, everything you want. Over here, everything you don't want. You're riding this tightrope between these 2 different realities. Teeter, totter. Teeter, totter. Which one are you going to get? Now that's why this is critical, guys, right here. What's going on in here, and what happens if somebody quits your business? Are you going to start to go, oh my God, everybody's canceling. Oh my God, I'm losing my income, right? Very easily. Okay, now in one of my coaching calls, guys, I talk about this where in a short period of time, I had a whole slew of people that asked for refunds, okay, in about a 7-day period of time. It was my universal test. Now, it was about $6,000 worth, just so you know, guys. I'm not talking about a little tiny bit of money here. $6,000, okay? But that was my test, my universal test. And I'm going to tell you this, when you move into the next level, from where you are up to going to Millionaire, trust me when I tell you this stuff is going to happen. Be prepared so that you're ready and you don't do one of these, because that could have happened to me, right? The money is never gone. It's an illusion that it's been taken away. Well, it's not taken away. As soon as I realized that, okay, that I'm in this video game, okay, I'm going to remove myself from myself. I'm going to be the observer, right? Okay, I got to get control of my thoughts, my words, and emotions. Guess what magically happened? 24 hours, $6,000 commissions. Poof, 2 black card members. Boom, boom. Instantly it came back because I got the lesson. That's the critical part to understand. Okay, do we have a mic from Scott here? Scott, can you unmute? Scott, you there? Okay, Scott is not there. Okay, Pat, can you unmute, please?
I'm muted.
Okay. So, Pat, you know, this is kind of a cool little story here because, you know, you and I had a great connection there a couple years back, and you know, I don't even know where you drifted off, and all of a sudden, poof, you came out of nowhere, and we reconnected, and we had a chance to connect over the phone. Tell me what got you back on course.
Wow. Somebody said to me that when the student is ready for the teacher will appear. And, you know, yeah, it was strange. It was like that day you just appeared out of nowhere, and I decided the next day to connect with you. And I just remember you just talking to me and coaching me, and I got off that phone call and I felt like, you know, I can really do this thing. I had never seen myself, Darren, as a black card member. Like, that was not a possibility for me. And now, all of a sudden, I got on the iPass, I got on the 6-figure shortcut. I'm having issues with them, but I'm just typing away, making sure that I get what I want from iPass support, which is still in, you know, we're still figuring it out. For the first time ever, I really see that, you know, I'm going to be a black card member, and I'm going to be one of these people making $3,000 commissions. I got on one of your videos, and I listened to it, and I took notes, and that night I went and I played a number on the lottery, and I won $500. And the next day I wrote on Facebook, you know, was it a coincidence that I spoke to Darren Little and listened to his was Vision call you had done? I think it might have been that. Was it, you know, was it a coincidence? I think not. And you know, ever since that day, you know, I'm doing my proclamations, not as, you know, I'm not doing it as well as I know I could be, but I'm walking around feeling different, and I know it's because I don't know if this sounds strange, but because I'm hooked up with you, I feel like I'm happy for no reason during the day. And that, you know, I mean, you could see the smile on my face. I'm like, Yeah, I'm really thankful you made that, little connection. Hey, Pat, how are you doing today? And it was like literally 2 years later. So now I'm like looking, okay, I got to get, I'm not saying I can't afford Nashville. I'm now thinking, how can I afford to get there? And that in itself is also a different conversation I'm having with myself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, this is a perfect example. And what I want for you to understand, and this is the reason why I tell people, you want to surround yourself, right, with people that are more successful than you are. That's what I do, right? That's what I do, right? So here's an example, and I want for you guys to actually see this, because I can't fake this, okay, if I show you live. I'm going to go live right now. Okay, I'm going to go live. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to show you this. Okay. Okay. Tony Cohen here is a 7-figure sales trainer. Okay. Eric Green is a multiple 6-figure income earner. Dodie Johnson is a senior executive. When she went through my training, her salary went from $100,000 to $312,000 in 60 days. Okay. Aaron Rashkin here is a 7-figure income earner with Empower Network. Okay. Avram and Nikki Gonzalez are basically, they've made about $500,000. Okay. Steve Lawson owns his own network marketing company. David Wood owns the Empower Network. Pete Delmonico is a top recruiter in Intergresso or Cybernetico, right? Rex Harris was just featured in a book that just came out at JV Zoo. Kimberly Tilley is a top recruiter, a top business owner. Lise Lansu is a motivational speaker on relationships, right? Mo Kamarsi is a top recruiter. Scott Rayleigh is a multiple 6-figure income earner. John Gilardi is a multiple 7-figure income earner. Chris and Susan Beasley have been on stage 3 or 4 times with the Empower Network. Chad Oxted has been on stage with the Empower Network during the Top Producer Formula. Gregory Hinton just went diamond with a Paycation. Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? That's the power. You gotta be associating yourself with those top people and start to become the attractor factor, right? So what do I focus on? If you look at my content, look at, there's subliminal stuff going on here, guys. Do you think that I wrote this for an accidental purpose? Look at the copy I write. This is called speaking to the listening. Okay, look what I wrote. Most top leaders. Okay, who am I talking to? Most top leaders will tell you that if they had to go back and do it all over again, they would invest in the education, in marketing and mindset right from the very start of their careers. Who here would agree with that? Guess what magically happens here, guys? I start pulling people that are in that mindset, right? People that are already on the path to become millionaires. They're already on the path, right? Does that make sense? That's called speaking to the listening. So I know that I've just generated here. Okay, look at this. Matthew Aaron has a successful land-based company. He's taken his life to the next level right now. He's got he's a top recruiter, guys. Top. This is a guy that can recruit 80 or 100 people in 1 month. Himself, personally, nobody else. Okay. Mark Clyett just started with me in my Millionaire mentoring. He's been involved for 5.5 weeks. His residual income right now at 5.5 weeks is $2,600 a month. Okay? Okay. So John Melton, another top, he's with Vima, another top recruiter, top income earner, right? You can tell okay, Joe Stewart, he's one of my students. He's written his own book now. He's a top recruiter with Fit Life. But you can see that I'm pulling the people that are specifically on that path. Tom Westrick, another top recruiter. Ernie Pinard is another top recruiter. He's with the organic. I can't remember the name of the company, but you got to hear him here on stage, right? So it gives you an idea. Eric Green, Tony Cohen. That's called speaking to the listening, right? Now here's a couple people here who I've seen multiple times on my page. Geez, maybe I'm just going to say confirm and say, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Okay, that's called building into relationships. So if I go here now, okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to copy her name so I don't misspell it. And I'm going to say, okay, just hold on a sec. Okay, so I say, hey Yvonne, how's it going? How is your day so far? Now, I will tell you this, guys, if you get really comfortable saying that to a complete, total stranger on social media, you can make a full-time income. Pretend you didn't have anybody on your team except for the personal sales that you did. If you just get good at doing this, I have never met this woman before. I've never had a conversation with her before, but look what, she's friends with one of my students, Rex Harris. Rex Harris went through my Millionaire Mentoring and Training. He was just now featured in the new book that was put out by JV Zoo, right, as one of the authors, right? He just got back from the Marketing Mayhem event, and she happens to be friends with Rex Harris, right? So I'm going to say, hey, Yvonne, how's it going? How's your day so far? Okay. Now, that doesn't take a long time to do, guys, okay, just so you know. It doesn't take a long time to do. But if I do that 20 times in the day, I can tell you that I'm going to make 10 grand a month if I do that 25 times every single day for 30 days. It doesn't matter if I'm only bringing people in at Pro Pack. Okay, I can tell you this for a fact because I've done it multiple times. If all I did was connect with people and offer them value, right? Keep in mind, you guys have the same value as me, right? You can give them unstoppable vision. You can give them how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. You can give them unleash the alpha within. You can give them how to connect with prospects. You can give them how to develop a $9,000 a day mindset. And as you start to develop your own brand, your own leadership, now you can start to offer as well things from you. Now you got a double whammy, guys. You realize that? Because you got Millionaire Mentoring stuff, plus as you evolve as a leader, now you've got your own stuff as well. So if you look down this path here, okay, if I haven't connected with these people, like you see here it says add friend, that means that I have not connected with Sasha. Oh look, Sasha's friends with Aaron Rashkin, right? See how Aaron Rashkin comes up on her friends there? So chances are she's probably in the industry. Let's find out. Let me go into her about section and let's see if I can find out. Okay, so there's nothing that indicated there, but I can tell you that Robert Probst is also a friend of mine, Tracy Walker, Ella Klassen, Chris Jones. It looks like she's probably with Empower Network, right? So that might be somebody that I just want to say hello to in Nashville, right? So I'm just going to add her as a friend and say, hey, Sasha, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Okay, simple as that. Hey, Sasha, how's it going? How's your day so far? Darren, right? Boom. That's just called touching base. I'm not trying to sell her on anything. I'm not trying to pitch her on anything. All I'm looking for is to connect, to find out what's happening in her life. Is she in a peak or a valley? Does she have any pain? Does she have any problem? And what can I do as a leader to help her solve her problem? Okay, real simple, guys. This isn't rocket science. And if you get really good at that, I'm telling you what, your life will completely transform to a whole different level. Okay, so what I want to do here, guys, is I want to just reach out really quickly here so that we can wrap things up. Rita, any closing comments here? Did you get any value from today? Rita, you there?
I have cause to break through even more. I have cause now to even further. I mean, I do these little, push-ups in the mirror each day. I've started that, and they get deeper every day, and they're piercing. Yesterday or the day before, whenever Dodie called me, I had done, I forgive myself, I'm sorry, I love you, that one. I had only said it twice. Twice. And I was in tears.
Wow, that's great. Good news.
It was like, oh my God. And so I'm encouraged, and I am an encourager. Encouragers very rarely, I have found, and you can speak, I think you can hear me when I say this, encouragers very rarely get encouraging words. So it's really nice to have this, Darren, and I want you to know I appreciate you for that.
Well, fantastic. I appreciate you as well, and I'm looking forward to some really, really amazing things ahead for you, because I know that you got some really great talent, and it's time for the world to hear your voice. Pat.
I've been a wallflower for many, many decades.
Yeah, well, it's time for the world to know.
Okay.
Pat McKeon, any closing remarks? Do you get any value from today? You're muted, just so you know.
I can you?
Yeah, can hear you. Okay, you've just you unmuted and then you muted yourself again. Okay, there you go. There you
go. I got value from tonight, and also I wanted to say I got an incredible amount of value as well from last night. And when you were asking us about the question, who would you bring back, if money was no object, and wow, that blew me away. Like, I thought about my brother, and I just started crying. It was just, I don't know, it just was an incredible moment for me. And being on this team, and tonight, I just want to say thank you to everybody, and thank you, Darren, for inviting me. I appreciate it. And every day I feel like I'm not so focused on making a sale right now. I'm more focused on, what's happening here, as you say it, and just cleaning out my past so that I can move forward into my future.
Fantastic. Well, you know what? Here's the cool thing, Pat, that I will tell you, is that it shows in your being, right? Your breakthrough. Seriously. Like, you look like a fountain. Your energy is like going like this. Oh, I'm not kidding you, right? You look like a bubbling fountain that's going off, that's coming from here. Your power chakra is bubbling like this. Okay, so that's really good breakthrough.
Thank you.
Okay, Kevin, can you unmute? Okay, so Kevin, let me ask you a question, because this is really day one for you. Can you really see how easy this is, and how having a team, and how having camaraderie, and how being part of something will allow you to go to the next level in your career?
Absolutely, and it's something I've thought about, and the more that I put myself around you guys and people with the same mindset, the more I realized that it's not as difficult as I was making it out to be. beforehand, and doing a lot of reading. That's probably my biggest thing. I've read so much about positive attitude, positive intelligence. A book I'm reading now is Face Your Fears and Do It Anyway. You know, I've teared up a few times reading these things because I come to a realization, and I feel, you know, like, why haven't, you know, I'm starting to have an even keel about things, and not getting too upset when things are not going right, and not getting too overly excited when they do go right. Just staying level, and just pressing forward, and making sure I'm taking action. If I find myself not taking action, I call myself on it, and I do think, you know, I find something to take action on, regardless of how big or small it may be. But yeah, I definitely see the value.
Fantastic. Guys, you know, this, what Kevin is talking about here today, okay, is something that all of us, okay, what I want for you guys to realize, I want you to do a visualization of this to really understand the power of this. Imagine the ocean. Okay, so you've got this ocean, this vast ocean, that's this vast container of water, okay? And if you take 2 cups and you dip it into the ocean, now you have 2 people. If you take those cups and you pour them back out, they're back in the ocean, okay? We are all connected, guys. We are like the ocean. We're all connected. And we're all reflectors of each other, right? We're all connected. Now, if you realize this, you really absorb what I'm saying right now, your whole life will transform, because it will stop you being judgmental of other people, and you'll realize we're all reflectors of ourselves. And the things that we don't like about other people are things that we don't want to look at about ourselves, guys. Think about that. The things that we don't want to look at out here are the things that we don't want to look at in here, right? We're all the same. We're all connected like the ocean. Okay, Jason, can you unmute quick?
Yeah, Darren.
Okay. So, you know, what I want to say here, Jason, in closing, you and Chad right now, what I want for you guys to start to think about is, when I get back on the 30th, okay, we're going to spend a little bit more time together, but not just us one-on-one. I want to get connected to your team, because what I want for you to see a couple of sessions in action. Right? All you got to do is sit silently and just take notes, right? But what's going to happen is that something's going to take place called energy transference that's going to take place when that happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is quantum physics stuff, guys, okay? So what happens is, when I get on to hangout like this with Jason and his whole team, okay, what I'm going to now do is I'm going to edify Jason. Okay, I'm going to lift him up, right? So he's the guy, right? But he's going to be taking notes as to, what am I going to say to these people, right? How am I going to get them connected to their dream, to their vision, to what it is that they want, to get them tapped into their personal power, right? I'll probably tell a few stories. We'll joke around a little bit. A couple people would be laughing about some stuff, right? We'll change their state, right? But all he's got to do is just sit there and take some notes and go, okay, this makes sense. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, Chad Turner.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, so Chad, what I'm going to suggest to you, okay, out of everybody here, man, I'm telling you what, you're literally 30 to 45 days away from going 10K. Okay, I'm not kidding you here. The thing that you need to do right now is, you need to get a hold of David, okay, You need to get some photos done of your head, right? So this way, right? Just, you don't have to worry about, all you got to worry about really is the lighting, right? It doesn't have to be professional photo shoots. You can do them with your iPhone or whatever, right? But you need to get some photographs done of your head, and you need to come up with the name, you know, whether it's tweet, you know, tweet cash or whatever. Don't use Twitter, because Twitter can you know, sue you because you can't use Twitter in your product, right? But you can use something that refers to it, right? But what I would do right now for you is, you're ready for branding right now, because you worked on a special sauce and you actually have something that's there, right, that you can expand on, right? So what I would do in the next 4 or 5 days is I would start to really focus on that, right? Even if it's only an hour a day for the next 4 days, focus on that. Get your pictures done. Get a few, you know, add David to your Skype, and start, because that can be literally done within the next week to 10 days. You could literally be fully branded then. Okay. We'll start working on that. I'll be back in another week, and then on the, you know, after the 30th, you know, we'll do the same thing with you. I want to meet with your team, right? We're going to do a little millionaire mentoring session. Just take notes. I'm going to edify you as much as possible, and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about on how you can now, with your people, start to do something like this. A little bit of live stuff, a little bit of one-on-one, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so that's a wrap. You have got Darren Little here from the MLM Superheroes, and I'm live right now in Maui, Hawaii, living the dream. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing better than to be in a situation where you can travel wherever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, stay for however long you want, and still have that cash flow coming in. During this last week of being away on vacation, I had a $2,500 week, guys, right? Vacationing. 5 people joined my business today, all incoming guys, right? So that's the key. So you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. If you want to take your life to the next level, click the link below, take that $7 trial, upgrade yourself, and be on our next Millionaire Mentoring session to take your life to the next level. So I look forward to meeting you in person one day. I look forward to the top. Bye for now.